Wait, it's the kids next door?
Popping yo, it's your boy Zane Capital, fresh from the Passover weekend. Yeah, man, let's get straight to it without actually wasting any time. Let's get to it straight up, So yeah, economic calendar. We had a very interesting week last week, right? The dollar was crashing like crazy. We just tapped into monthly lows since it started from the opening way it opened I think at a 104, and then now I think it's trading around like 90 or something like that, right? So dollar was crashing and it was really crazy, right? And this week we do not see mm, there's not much fundamentally, right? There's not much fundamentally, but maybe this might help us give us more confluence into the market and stuff like that. So yeah, man, let's look into it. So we have Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Started Monday, we didn't have anything. Tuesday, we didn't have anything, right? So it's starting tomorrow, Wednesday, right? We have the PMI, right, which is the UK stocks. And then on Thursday, we do have home sales, right, and good orders and durable good orders from the we have from USA. So we do have some news on the dollar on Thursday, and on Friday we have retail sales, right? And then basically we'll see what happens next week, right? So today we're just going to tackle mostly the DXY and see what happens or what happened, and then just give us like an outlook on what's coming next. And yeah, man. But yeah, to start off on a good note, we can see like the stocks have been coming back. They've been strengthening. You have the US30 strengthening, the US100 strengthening, the S&P 500 strengthening. You have the German 30 also strengthening, and then you have the UK stocks also strengthening, right? Which might mean that the dollar might be strengthening as well, right? So we'll see what the market has for us. So yeah, man, let's start with DXY. Let's start with the DXY. Now, this is just the
It's the
focus
kids
of the
next door?
Bitcoin. Before we go to the DXY, look into the let's look into what you call this. Let's look into the Bitcoin, right? So yeah, Bitcoin, we analyzed it when the market was still here. Now this was for my community, right? So we analyzed this. We saw the market surging towards the upside, coming back, tapping into this POI, right? Giving us like an intraday change in order flow within a trend, right? And then came back, swept this liquidity, and then advanced towards the upside. And then from there, Bitcoin has been surging towards the upside, right? So that was really pretty nice, pretty interesting, really pretty interesting to say the least. So yeah, man, let's look into the DXY. Let's start on the daily time frame. Basically, what let's start with on the daily time frame and see what the market has for us. Let me just put this here. I am paid. So on the daily time frame, we did analyze this from the beginning. We saw that the market, we did analyze this part, right? So for today, I just want us to concentrate on this dip towards the downside, basically, right? Besides that, we'll just see what the market has for us, right? So the market surged, right? Opening was 104 with the beginning of April. Or the opening was like 104 around this area right there, right? And then the markets just started surging towards the downside, right? So we had an opening of our monthly opening here, right? This was our monthly opening, and then the market has been bearish this entire month, right? This entire month of April, the market has been bearish, right? This follows tariffs, the market war that has been happening, basically the economic war that has been happening between China and the United States, Canada, Mexico being in the mix as well, and all the countries that were affected. Russia with the ceasefire thingy versus Ukraine and stuff like that. So it has been a very interesting economic back and forth war that has been going on in the world. So there's so much going on in the world, right? But for us as traders, it's a really exciting moment. It's a really exciting
It's the
moment, man.
kids next door?
I'm blessed to see such. Without any shade, I am blessed to see such. So yeah, let's get into it. So we saw the market surge towards the downside, giving us an impulse towards the downside, corrected, right? And then gave us a break of structure towards the downside, right? Gave us a break of structure towards the downside, which is this area right there. giving us a break of structure towards the downside, right? And then the market advanced towards the downside, came back, right? Retested, right? Mitigated to this price and then tapped into this area of POI of interest and then dropped again towards the downside, right? Forming again another break of structure towards the downside, right? Forming again another break of structure towards the downside. Remember, this is the daily time frame, right? And then from there, we can see that the market dropped really heavily and then started correcting and then dropped again, right? And then we can safely say that the market left the trace from this area right here, right, and to this area right there. So the market left an area of interest, right? What area of interest is that? I can see a fair value gap tapping into that area right there, right? So this becoming our fair value gap, right? Let's fill it up. So that becoming our fair value gap. All right, let's talk in it a bit. That becoming our fair value gap towards the downside, right? So what I am expecting, we might get the market to come back probably until this area right there, right, and then drop again. Right? That's basically what I am predicting, or what I might predict from where the market is until where our previous high was. The market is just around this area right there, and then we can see that the fair value gap is within our equilibrium price, which is this area of interest right there, right? And then we said that anything that is above the 50%, that is premium, and everything that is below the 50%, that's the market. That means that the market is in discounted prices, right? So we're just waiting for the market to surge towards the upside, probably tap into this area right there, and then from here we might be looking for bearish movements further to the downside. That's basically what I'm seeing on the dollar index, right? Really simple, really straightforward, right? Without wasting any time, let's just see what the market is doing here, because I can see a gap that is resting upon that area right there. That was probably caused by a market opening, right? That was caused by market opening, probably caused by market opening. So I can see a gap right there. So let's see how the market is behaving here on a lower time frame. Let's go to the hourly time frame right there. Yes, so we can see that this gap was probably created by market opening, right? When the market opened, it just flushed towards the downside. So there was so much volatility that the market just opened below where the market ended. So it created like a gap, right? And then we said that gaps might be filled at times depending on what happens or what is happening in the market. So we'll basically see how the market is behaving. But I can see that the market has created some sort of bullish movement towards the upside. So let us just analyze that even further. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame and see what the market has for us, right? Okay, clean. So I can see that the market advanced towards the downside and then started trading correctively, so right, and then advancing towards the upside, sweeping all this liquidity that is resting on your left hand side, all this liquidity, zeroing out every person that was involved in this trade here, right, giving us a change in order flow towards the upside, meaning that I have changed character. So it has changed character towards the upside, right? So it has changed character towards the upside, and then from there the market then advanced towards the upside and then gave us a sweep and liquidity, right? It gave us a sweep and liquidity, that was resting upon that area right there, right? Giving us a sweep and liquidity that was resting upon that area right there, right? And then the market advanced towards the downside, sweeping just liquidity now, right? So this liquidity was swept, right? So giving us a sweep and liquidity that was resting upon that area right there, right? Tapping into this area of interest and then advancing towards the upside, and then advancing towards the upside, right? Forming a break of structure towards the upside from there, right? Which is very interesting, very, very interesting, right? And then we can see that the market is now forming an upward movement towards the upside, right? So we can safely say that this market might, it actually tapped already, right? So it might probably tap into this area right there and then advance towards the upside, right? So it might maybe tap into this area right there and then advance towards the upside. So let's see how the market is behaving currently, right? So 5 minutes, we can see that one could have taken this sell towards the downside. So the market gave us a change in order flow around that area right there, right? It came back tapping into this POI from there, right? So one could have took these sells towards the downside, right? So that is about 18 pips towards the downside, but I still see that the market might surge towards the downside, giving us about 23 pips towards the downside, right? So yes, so my area of interest might be the 50% of that area right there, which is this part right there, right? So we might see the market advance towards the downside and then from there surge towards the upside, right? So it is telling us that the dollar is increasing in strength, it is gaining momentum, right? So we'll just see how the market behaves during the day to come and fill in this gap that is resting upon that area right there, right? So to come and at least fill this gap right there that is resting upon that area right there, right? So this is an actual gap, so maybe to come and fill in that gap, right? So that is one of the confluences that's right now giving me like that hope that this market might advance towards the upside, right? So we'll just wait and see how the market behaves going forward. But yes, that's basically what I am seeing. So I might if you are trading the DXY, just look for bullish movements from the advancement towards the upside basically. So we are looking at 100 pips towards the upside, which is like really beautiful pips right there, right? And then yeah man, from there let's look into updates on the US30. Let's look at updates on the US30. So the US30, very beautiful analysis, right? We analyzed the market. I think if you didn't see the video, the analysis, you can go check it out on on the previous videos, right? Or just click the link that pops up right here right now, right? And then yeah, just look into the breakdown of this analysis, man. It was really beautiful. So yes, just this will just be updates of that, right? So we said that the market after tapping into this area right there is going to advance towards the upside and then tap into this area right there, which just tapped into that area right there, right, of interest, which is our POI. So now we are waiting to see the market advance towards the upside before we look for any more bearish movements towards the downside, right? So in this case, what we can see is that the market now advanced towards the upside. So now we are just waiting for this market to give us any form of change in order flow, which is this area right there, right? So immediately after the market just advances towards the upside, giving us this change in order flow, any form of mitigation of that price, I might look to take this trades towards the upside. That's basically what I'm looking for on the US30. So there's not much more to look into for the US30 because we did analyze this, right? It's on previous videos and stuff like that, right? We can see now that the market has advanced towards the downside, respecting our analysis. It has created much more liquidity that is resting upon that area right there, right? So we can see more liquidity that is resting upon that area right there, right? So we can just change that into our liquidity. So we're just waiting for this market to advance towards the upside. If that doesn't take place and the market decides to go further down to our 36,300, that would be really dope because it would have also confirmed the analysis that we made previously, right? So yeah, let's go to the Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq, beautiful one. Nasdaq, beautiful. We've been holding this trade since last week, right? We've been holding this trade since last week, right? And then we did analyze this market, broke it down. If you didn't see the video or the market breakdown, go into the YouTube channel and then go into the YouTube channel, or maybe I'll leave it in the description below. But if I do not, just go into the to the YouTube channel and watch the entire breakdown. Maybe it might help you for future references and stuff like that. And if you do not want to miss any more analysis or market breakdowns, just subscribe and hit that bell notification button so that you do not miss any update of the market or my opinion of the market on a weekly basis. So yeah man, let's break it down. So on the Nasdaq, so we did break down this one last week. So let's just break down this one real quick, right? So on the Nasdaq, we did say that the market gave us like a change in order flow towards the upside from here, right? Tapping into that sweeping this liquidity, right? Tapping into our POI, right? Tapping into our POI, and then from there flashing, right? And then on a fractal movement, we did get a change in order flow around this area right there, and then the market mitigated corrective basically to our OB, right? Tapped into that OB and then flushed to the downside, right? We are so held this trades from here until this area right there. I'll just post screenshots and stuff like that of the analysis and stuff like that, right? And then from there we're just waiting for the market to maybe dump towards the downside, right? Because now we are trading at discounted prices. We are below the equilibrium price, right? So we are trading in discounted prices. So any form of change in order flow the market decides to give me, we might look for the market to advance towards the upside. But in this case, I can still see that the market is still bearish, right? Why? Because it is giving me lower lows and lower highs, right? Still giving me lower lows and lower highs. So now I'm just interested in seeing how the market behaves around this area right there. It will be really beautiful if the market just advances towards the downside. Any form of change in order flow here, I might take my bullish movements towards the upside. So we'll just basically see and keep monitoring the trades and stuff like that, and seeing what the market is doing and how the market is behaving and stuff like that. So that we know and understand and check it into depth of what we or which steps we might have to take going forward and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I guess I think that was the entire breakdown for this week. But yeah, man, just look out for any more updates during the week, because we do not have so much activity in the market this week. But yeah, just look out for it. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and yeah, man, let's meet in the next video. Zane Capital signing out.